A few weeks ago, you were named the Time Magazine Athlete of the Year. Time asked you to define your year in one word, and you said historic. We can do better. We can give you 2 words to define your year. What would they be if you could do that?
A few weeks ago, Caitlin Clark was named Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year. When the magazine asked her to define her year in one word, she chose historic. But let's raise the bar a little, shall we? If we had to pick 2 words to summarize her year, we'd go with life-changing.
2 words?
2 words.
That is hard. I would say I don't know, life-changing maybe?
That's a great one. I think
It's been a whirlwind. And Clark's transformation from a college phenom to a WNBA superstar has been nothing short of remarkable. Just a year ago, Caitlin was starting her senior year of college, barely having time to soak in her achievements before getting drafted into the WNBA. Flash forward to today, and she's shaking up the league, making history along the way. But while some players, like A'ja Wilson, are taking a more complaining approach to their transition from college to the pros,
I had so many cool opportunities too. So it's crazy, looking back at a year ago today or around this time, I was just beginning my senior year of college.
Clark has chosen a different path. She's embracing every challenge, and her journey is making waves. A'ja Wilson, the face of the WNBA for a long time, recently made headlines for claiming that the WNBA has the toughest schedule in all of American professional sports. Now, that's a bold statement. When we look at other major leagues like the NBA or MLB, the schedule is grueling. NBA players play 82 games in a season, spanning about 6 months. Major League Baseball players grind through 162 games in a similar time frame. Meanwhile, the WNBA's regular season is a mere 40 games across 4 to 5 months.
Well, my goodness. Is it just me, or are WNBA players sort of full of themselves? A'ja Wilson loves to do 2 things.
Yet A'ja claims the WNBA's schedule is the most demanding. Fans didn't hold back, calling this claim out for being delusional. To add fuel to the fire, A'ja also complained about the schedule disruptions caused by the Olympics, stating that half of their roster was gone due to Olympic commitments, making it difficult to practice and prepare for games. Sure, the Olympics can be a challenge, but it's hard not to wonder if the WNBA's schedule really compares to the intensity of the NBA's or MLB's. In contrast, Caitlin Clark, who also faced the transition from college to professional basketball, has a different perspective.
2 things. Play the victim, and is completely delusional as well, I guess. She's petty, too.
She stepped into the WNBA after winning a national championship and heading straight into the draft. With just a week and a half of preseason, Caitlin had no time to rest. But instead of complaining, she calls the experience life-changing. For Caitlin, the transition from college to the pros is a whirlwind of excitement. It's just so short and condensed. You don't have much time, but everybody has to deal with it. So I just told myself there's no point in complaining, everyone's dealing with it, Caitlin shared. She's not whining about the pressure or the changes, she's simply facing them head on. Caitlin's rookie season in the WNBA was nothing short of spectacular. She earned Rookie of the Year honors and made the All-WNBA first team, a feat not accomplished by a rookie in nearly 2 decades. She didn't just break records.
Back, do you feel like as professional athletes, you guys have the most stressful, strenuous careers?
Yeah, for sure.
She redefined what it means to be a rookie in the pros. While some rookies may struggle under the weight of expectations, Caitlin embraced the challenge, proving that she's not only a player to watch, but a force to be reckoned with. Her attitude, a refreshing one. Caitlin is a player who understands that success isn't guaranteed, and the pressure is real, but she doesn't let it dictate her approach. She keeps pushing forward with gratitude and hustle, appreciating every opportunity, even in the face of adversity. As she puts it, I think it was good not to have time to overthink things. You just go from one thing to the next. You don't have time to dwell on what just happened.
I feel like for us, we don't have, our rookie orientation is not anything too crazy. It's literally obviously a day before the draft and you're sitting there and you're talking, but it's we don't get to go work out for teams. We don't have a combine.
But Caitlin's approach isn't just about surviving the pressure. It's about thriving, using each challenge as a chance to grow, and her results speak for themselves. In her rookie season, she earned praise from fans and experts alike, leading her team and securing her place among the WNBA's elite. Of course, Caitlin's success didn't happen in a vacuum. She credits her veteran teammates for helping her navigate the demanding transition.
You literally go from college I remember it was like, I went in, I got drafted. I literally did training camp, and I came back to college just to walk to graduate. And then I had to go play my first preseason game.
I had a lot of good vets around me, Caitlin said. They've been through it, so they knew how I felt. That support was crucial. In contrast to the complaints of some of her peers, Caitlin has chosen to focus on the positives, leaning into the sense of community and support from her teammates. That camaraderie has made all the difference as she continues to make waves in the league. The rise in visibility for the WNBA is undeniable, and yet, not all players are thrilled about it. While many athletes long for the kind of attention that's coming to women's sports, some WNBA players, including Asia Wilson, are expressing frustration. Wilson called the increased spotlight super annoying, despite it being the very thing that the league has fought for years to achieve. In professional sports, there's always a dichotomy between those who thrive under pressure and those who falter. Caitlin Clark, the young phenom in the WNBA, exemplifies how to transform pressure into opportunity.
And I'm just like, there's no way one of the biggest nights of my life I have to like be rushed. But you kind of have to. Like, it's college, then you go right into training camp, and then if you play overseas,
As one of the league's most prominent players, she is revolutionizing the perception of women's basketball and pushing the WNBA into uncharted territory. This shift isn't just about her talent, it's about her mindset, her approach to fame, and her ability to inspire. When Aja Wilson expressed her frustration with the added pressure brought by heightened media attention, it revealed a challenge many athletes face: balancing the joy of playing with the expectations of a growing audience. Wilson's comments reflect an internal struggle that professional athletes often grapple with.
Or maybe depending on when your club wants you over, and then you're gone. Like you're going, and then it's Olympic year, and you're going, and it's just.
Caitlin Clark, however, represents a refreshing counterpoint. Rather than shying away from the spotlight, she embraces it as a vehicle for growth, not just for herself, but for the game as a whole. Her approach is less about enduring pressure and more about using it as fuel to achieve greater heights. For Clark, the increased attention is a sign of progress. The WNBA, long overshadowed by its male counterpart, is finally capturing the public's imagination. Where others see pressure, Caitlin sees promise. Caitlin Clark's positivity is infectious, and her influence stretches far beyond the court.
We had 6 Olympians this year, so that's like half our roster gone. And while other teams may have their whole roster, so they can like train, they can
practice, hoop.
Her genuine love for basketball and appreciation for her platform make her an ideal ambassador for the WNBA. She doesn't view her role as a burden. Instead, she sees it as a privilege. This perspective has reshaped the narrative around women's basketball. Clark's humility, combined with her relentless drive, has captivated fans and attracted new audiences to the WNBA. People aren't just tuning in to watch her score, they're drawn to her authenticity and her story. The 2024 WNBA season was a turning point for the league, with viewership and attendance reaching unprecedented levels. Caitlin Clark played a pivotal role in this surge.
Like go on vacation, they can rest. So like it's a lot, and I'm surprised we did what we did this year because it was just a lot of just stuff going on.
Her electrifying performances and ability to consistently deliver in clutch moments brought a level of excitement that had been missing from the league for years. It wasn't just her stats that drew attention. It was the way she played the game with confidence, creativity, and a deep understanding of basketball's nuances. She wasn't merely a player. She was an entertainer, a leader, and a trailblazer. Caitlin's commercial success is another testament to her impact. Major brands like Nike, Gatorade, and State Farm have lined up to partner with her.
Asia Wilson is the queen of the delusion. She's absolutely the queen of the delusion.
Recognizing her as a game changer not only on the court, but also in the cultural sphere. These endorsements aren't just personal victories, they're victories for the WNBA. They signify a shift in how the league is perceived and valued. Caitlin's rise is proof that women's basketball is a viable and lucrative market. Caitlin Clark's influence extends far beyond her individual accomplishments. She's inspiring a new generation of athletes, particularly young girls, who see her as proof that they too can dream big.
From college to the pros, I think it's just like the time span. That's just what's so weird about it. It's just so short and condensed. Like, you don't have much time, but...
Her success is a reminder that representation matters. Every time Caitlin steps onto the court, she's showing young athletes that there's a place for them in the world of sports. The ripple effect of her impact can be seen in the increasing popularity of women's basketball at all levels. College programs are thriving, youth leagues are expanding, and more girls are picking up basketballs for the first time. The WNBA's growth isn't happening in a vacuum. Caitlin Clark is one of several players driving the league's evolution, but her approach sets her apart. She's not just focused on personal accolades. She's committed to elevating the league as a whole. Her willingness to engage with fans, collaborate with teammates, and support community initiatives underscores her understanding that basketball is about more than just the game.
What it is, everybody has to deal with the same thing. So that's what I told myself is like, there's no point in complaining. Everybody's dealing with it. It's not any different.
It's a good mindset to have.
Yeah.
It's about connection and impact. Looking ahead, Caitlin Clark's potential seems limitless. As the WNBA continues to expand its reach, she's positioned to become one of the most influential figures in sports history. Her journey is still in its early stages, but the foundation she's building is solid. With every game, every endorsement deal, and every interaction with fans, she's cementing her legacy.
Like, you don't have time to overthink things. Like, it's just like,
Sure.
boom, 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 boom.
Yeah,
like, you're just on to the
exactly
next.
now.
But at
Right.
the same time, like, you don't, like, I feel like I never really ended the chapter of college. Like, it was just like, you've been left.
As a transformative figure in women's sports, Caitlin Clark's rise highlights the importance of supporting players who embrace the challenge of growing the game. The WNBA must capitalize on this momentum by investing in marketing, increasing player visibility, and fostering an environment where stars like Clark can thrive. The league's future hinges on its ability to attract and retain fans. Caitlin Clark has shown that it's possible to bridge the gap between the WNBA and the broader sports world, but she can't do it alone. As the WNBA enters this new era, Caitlin Clark's influence will be felt for years to come. Her ability to balance excellence on the court with grace off it sets a standard for what it means to be a modern athlete. The question now is whether other players and the league itself will rise to the occasion. Caitlin has proven that the spotlight is not something to fear, but a tool to be used. It's up to her peers and the WNBA to follow her lead and continue pushing the game forward. Caitlin Clark's story is one of resilience, innovation, and inspiration. She's proving that success isn't just about talent, it's about mindset. In embracing the spotlight, Caitlin Clark isn't just changing her own trajectory, she's changing the course of women's basketball. And as she continues to break barriers and shatter expectations, one thing is clear. The future of the WNBA is brighter because of her. Let us know your thoughts in the comment below. Do you think Caitlin Clark is the future of women's basketball? What does her rise mean for the WNBA? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated with all things basketball. We'll see you next time on Hoop Dose.